Oh no, he's going everywhere, on the plate. When she got out the car and she went, oh wow, so cool. You're welcome, my darling. It was all for you, wasn't it? Santa's on the roof? No way! Oh, it's this weather. Honestly, let's hope it's still there tomorrow. Yeah. It would be like proper blizzard, wouldn't it? Oh, delicious. I apologise for looking so rough. But if you're a parent like me, I can guarantee that you've got this virus, this RSV virus at the minute. We've had it for like 10 to 14 days now. It's been an absolute joke. So phlegmy. I'm just feeling generally rough. Kids have got it, obviously. We got it from them. Anyway, next meal. It is 10:15. First meal. Excuse the mess. Parent life. It's oats, just mixed with water, almonds, whey protein, grapes and apple. And that'll set me up for the next few hours. Not gonna lie, appetite's been so low because of this RSV thing. Just can't be bothered eating. However, I need energy. So just gonna have some toast, 2 slices of toast, honey, bit of butter on, of course, protein shake. Then it's back to work. All these fancy recipes that come online. As parents, you know that we don't have time to do that shit. So we pretty much eat the same meals every week. We'll have like, I had a spag bol last night. We'll have like a tempura, chicken, olive, pasta dish, salmon, curries, you know, like just a jar from Aldi. Put some chicken on the frying pan, put some onions on, bit of rice, bit of veg, bit of spinach in there, bit of avocado maybe. Just dead simple meals for us, because 2 kids, even 1 kid, but 2 kids, and training as well. Like, if you're a parent and you just don't ever have time, just keep your meals tasty and simple, just to make sure that you hit your calories and ideally protein. But in terms of fats and carbs, do not get overly obsessive with them. It really doesn't matter that much. Okay, so today's session is a Monday and it is chest and biceps with a little bit of delts at the very end of the session. So I think there are 7 exercises in this workout, and the new split is 5 days per week. So I will train, rest, train, rest. That's pretty much how it works at the moment.
So bench press has come on a lot in the last 10 weeks since I have started properly training again. So today I'm just doing 3 sets of 5. It's week 2 and I'm just increasing the load this cycle instead of reps. So I'm basically going 3 sets of 5. Last week I was on, I think, 95 kilogram. This week is 97.5 kilogram. Next week will be 100, etc. So I'm working more with load instead of reps this time around with key lifts, especially with strength rep key lifts. So yeah, just 5 reps there. Felt decent. Probably 2 reps in reserve, maybe. The next week will be very interesting when I try to do 5 reps on 100, which I think I will do. It's just the thought is, how close will that take me to my basically to failure? How close will that take me to failure? So the next lift we have, this is actually bench press again, just from a different angle so you can see exactly how I do it. So I don't know, I like to hump the air before I start. I'm not sure why that is. I just really like to be locked in, especially as the weight's getting heavier, probably because I'm shitting myself. So again, I think this is set 2 and another 5 reps we get here. So I pretty much hit the nipple line at the bottom, keep my elbows at a nice diagonal line. I don't let them go too high, and this feels comfortable for me. So the eccentric contraction on the way down, I like to keep nice and slow, and on the way up, burst out, get up there as fast as possible. So second exercise, we have the incline bench press, and I am using the fat grips. Like, I train in the garage most of the time. Every now and again I'll train at Reps Gym. However, this month, with it being Christmas, I just can't be arsed travelling and driving, especially when it's going to get busier for Christmas. And I absolutely love my garage. And to be honest, towards the back end of the 2 weeks of last cycle, I was just bored of leaving the house. I really like to train at home. It's like my sanctuary. It's just my peace, my privacy. I just love it. However, it is very cold at the moment. But anyway, I'm using the fat grips just to get a little bit more range of motion at the bottom, just so I can get more stretch under load. This lift I haven't done for quite a while, so I think I am at about, what am I here? 65 kilogram-ish. And I've not even been counting the reps, but I think I'm around 8-9 reps, something like that. So on this lift, an accessory movement, I am working with reps. So I'll hit an upper rep threshold, which might be 10. When I hit that upper rep threshold, I will then I'll increase the load and I'll drop back down to 8 and build back up to 10. When I hit 10 reps, I'll then increase the load, and etc. That's how I'm working the rest of the lifts, really. So here, dumbbell alternating bicep curls. So with this lift, I think it's a really good lift for me. And by the way, I use the straps because my forearms become the limiting factor of this movement. Obviously, I don't want to train my forearms. Biceps to me have always been a weakness. So I'm really trying my best to bring those out. I have had quite a bit of time off training, but I think training bilaterally is both arms at the same time. For example, a barbell curl unilaterally is training each arm individually or separately to the other. My left arm is definitely weaker, and it's probably 1/4 of an inch smaller than my right as well. So training with dumbbells is, I think, so important to make sure that you can sort out any asymmetries over time, and also any strength differences too. My right arm is stronger than my left, so I think it's important that we put these in. So with this one, I just have a slight lean to the side, and I try to curl the dumbbell outwardly. I just feel that the stretch and tension is definitely better on the biceps. So as you can see here, I'm starting to struggle with the left arm, whereas the right still has probably a couple of reps in reserve more than the left. I was just considering whether to carry on there. Decided not to because I was closing in too close to failure. So sometimes I will automate how I'm feeling at the time. So I'll have a plan in place, as in where I think I'm going to go, and I'll try and beat next week. If it feels quite easy, I'll beat next week by double the amount, as in maybe add 2 reps on instead of 1. If it feels quite hard, I'll just add that 1 rep on. Progress is progress, and it mounts up over time. So now we have close grip bench press. Now, I've been putting close grip bench presses in for quite a while. Since I've started training again, the last 10 to 12 weeks, because I really feel that it's just such a good exercise for the triceps. It puts a lot of strain through that area. You're going to be training your chest as well in this variation, and I do feel it in the very center of my chest, but certainly feel it in the triceps as well. So my goal is to get quite strong on this lift, which I'm not that strong on it at the minute. The bar is 22 kilograms, so I think that is 67-ish, something like that. Might be completely wrong with that. 65, it'll be around that anyway. So yeah, love that lift, love the Swiss bar for certain angles, especially for a close grip bench like that. I just find it quite comfortable on the wrists. Next up, we have incline dumbbell curls. This one is great because you can get a stretch at that bottom phase. So stick your chest up as high as you can, have a slight incline backwards, and you'll feel that pull at the bottom. Every little elbow travel towards the top. There are different variations of this. You can keep your elbows pinned back and the dumbbells won't get as high. But on this, I've just decided this month, just want a little bit of more elbow or even shoulder flexion, just to hit the biceps from a slightly different torque or angle. And again, biceps are part of the job is to actually flex the shoulder as well. So sometimes I'll do that, sometimes I won't. But again, variation is everything. Variation is what brings muscle growth for sure. So just slight changes and slight tweaks of grips really help with that. Excuse me, still not 100%. Still got this bloody cough. So next we have the Dumbbell Incline Fly. For this one, my big focus on it is to stretch as much as I can at the bottom. So moving the ego completely aside, and dropping the load and increasing the reps, increasing the time under tension. So a nice eccentric, slow portion of the lift as well, and that big stretch, and it just shreds the chest. And I think it's one of those exercises where it's quite a risky one. You can very easily strain the shoulder on this exercise. So for me, this is definitely a hypertrophy, high rep, lower load exercise that I feel needs a lot of control. And to be honest with you, it takes time to master this exercise. It can feel awkward for quite some time. And again, every person has different anthropometrics, different lever lengths, different skeleton lengths and shapes. So this exercise might not look the same on everybody else, but it's finding getting as much range as you possibly can and decreasing the chance of injury on this one. Obviously, I've got the hat on because it's absolutely Baltic today. Questioning my life there. Okay, next movement, we have a topless, because I just did a little bit of brief pausing, upright row. Again, same thing for this exercise. Some people might not get as high as I'm getting. Some people, and you don't need to get that high. Just go as high as you feel you comfortably can. I like dumbbells more for this because I just feel it's a bit more comfortable on the shoulders. And it allows me to increase the range of motion too. But anyway, in terms of body fat percentage, obviously I'm in a surplus and I will lose condition. I am losing condition. To be fair, still got a little bit of condition. I probably would say I'm maybe 12-13% body fat, and I'm probably in a couple hundred calorie surplus each day. So it's nice and tidy. It's not, I'm not rushing the process. Still can see some veins and stuff like that, and the abs are still there. But I do carry a lot of my fat on the lower abdominals and the love handles. There will be a. I was proper cramping up. I think I stopped here. When the hammies start cramping, forget that. That's me done, mate.
Okay.
Hey, Santa.
Hey, you ready?
The city is covered in snow tonight. Where did my love go? Santa, I'm waiting for him, but he's nowhere inside. All of the presents are still by the tree. They don't mean nothing till this here with me. If you know where it is, please give
it up,
me
Sophie.
a ride. And I will wait here by the candlelight, 'cause his love is all I need.
Okay guys, today's video, how I bulk or how you can bulk. As you can see, quite a lot goes into it. I'm going to fly through it, try and get it done in 6 minutes. Definitely not going to get it done in 6 minutes, but I'm going to try. So, first one, when you want to bulk, go onto an online calculator, type in your statistics, your height, weight, body fat percentage is a very important one here. Find one that does a body fat percentage because it's more accurate. Not perfectly accurate, there's another way of doing that to find out your own personalised weight, and that would require weighing yourself in for a period of 2 weeks, then adding all of those weigh-ins up, dividing by the number of days, 14, then you'll find out if you've gained or lost. However, the easy way is simply to do the online calculator and put yourself into a good surplus. I'll get to that in a second. So, you'll need to go to MyFitnessPal and track your calories. For the first 2 weeks, I would recommend tracking macros closely so that you have got less scale irregularity when carbohydrates and fats are up and down, so are the scales. So if you want to be more accurate, make sure your macros are more accurate too. However, for general bulking, a general surplus, I don't track my carbohydrates and fats nowhere near as closely as you would think you'd need to. They fluctuate a lot each day, but that's because I know exactly where my TDEE is, which is around 3,200-ish. Okay, next, I've mentioned the daily weigh-ins. Now, in terms of how much to gain per month for muscle mass, I would suggest the lower end. Personally, I like the lower end, which is around 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds of scale gain each month. However, the range is 2 to 4 pounds. So if you want to gain muscle faster and you're a beginner, you can put yourself into a bigger surplus of around 500. However, if you're more intermediate, like myself, towards the upper end of intermediate, maybe go into a lower surplus of around 200 to 300. Again, it doesn't have to be exact. So long as those scales are going up over time, you will be gaining muscle if you are logging all of your lifts. I'll get to that in a second as well. So, must log. The amount of people I see that don't log their lifts is mind-boggling because the calories that you consume and it's extra, are they serving a purpose if you aren't getting stronger? Like how much volume are you doing? How many times per week you train? Are you consistent? If you're in a big surplus and then you stop training 2 or 3 sessions that week but stay in the same surplus, you're going to gain fat faster. So we must log our lifts, we must track our calories. If you're not, you have no idea whereabouts you are. So for me personally, if I have a goal, I will track, because obviously at the bottom here we've got, you can't manage what isn't measured. It's that simple. Literally, it's that simple. So a lot of people spin the wheels, they don't get anywhere. They think they're eating a lot, but they're not eating a lot when they track the calories to see how much they're actually eating. They're often way below. Some are actually in a deficit, never mind maintenance or a surplus. Okay, next. So a calorie surplus of 250 to 500 calories per day. So, for example, my TDEE, maintenance calories, is around 3,200. So for me, I would be around the 3,500. As I gain weight, my energy requirements go up because I end up with a little bit more mass, a little bit more fat. So you've got to slowly increase those over time, but that's another video. Okay. Lower step counts and less aggressive cardio because it impacts recovery and muscle building capability. So personally, I don't do any cardio. I know it is good for the heart, so you can do some, but I would not suggest much. So 1 to 2 times per week with the aggressive cardio. Any more than that, the chances are you might burn muscle tissue, or you might slower your recovery or performance in the gym, which means less muscle is going to be built. Okay, now personally, 80% healthy foods, 20% junk. I've lived by this for years and I'm still relatively lean now. However, some people may say you are what you eat. Personally, I believe in balance. 80% is more than enough of the healthy stuff. We will always like the taste of junk foods, and calories are calories. It will support the muscle building process, but obviously if we're having too much junk, then the vitamins, minerals, macros and all that kind of stuff is low, so it's not ideal. If you've got an 80-20% ratio and you can keep that up for the long term, you'll get the physiological benefits as well as the psychological freedom. It feels good to eat shit, let's not lie. Okay, next, I would recommend 1 gram per pound body weight with protein. Fat, 20 to 30% of calories. Carbohydrates, the rest of the calories. So if for example, I'm at 3,200, whatever the first two amounted to, the rest is carbohydrates, okay? Fiber, go with 10 grams per 1,000 calories-ish. Maximize your sleep, because obviously we grow when we sleep. Growth hormone is released and all that kind of funky stuff. So go to bed at the same time, wake up at the same time. As parents, especially self-employed, I know how difficult it is to get 9 hours sleep and all this kind of stuff. So just aim for 7 to 8, but if anything, go to bed and wake up at the same time. It's one of the best things you can do, okay? 3 to 6 meals, protein 3 to 5 times per day to maximize protein synthesis. I personally, and every 3 to 5 hours, I personally have 4 servings a day every 3.5 to 4 hours. Sufficient calories prior to training, carbs and protein if possible, because fats take longer to digest. So if you're having a big meal 3 or 4 hours before, that's fine. If you need energy, I would suggest having protein and carbs predominantly an hour to 2 hours before, so that you've got that energy. Wow, we're at 7.5 minutes already. Okay, let's get through this. So, supplements, I have caffeine, plenty of that before I train. A day I'll have 3 or 4 cups. Before training, I'll have a 5 gram cup, 45 minutes prior to training, because that's how long it takes to get in the bloodstream. I also have creatine, vitamin D3, a general multivitamin, just as an insurance policy really. Fish oil and magnesium. Magnesium is very good for muscle relaxation. It makes you have good sleeps too. Obviously sleep builds muscle. Next, push through the fat gain doubt. Mass. Don't worry about getting fat. It is so much quicker to burn body fat than it is to build muscle tissue. It can take years to build muscle tissue. So don't worry about gaining a little bit of fat. It's a very, very easy process to burn body fat and get beach lean, as they say. The main thing for us is body composition. Build as much muscle as we can, which means we must stay in a long-term surplus. So we can't be going surplus for a month, diet for a month, surplus for a month, diet. You're not going to build any muscle that way. You'll stay the same. Lastly, takeaways are fine. Just eat less earlier in the day, but have your protein servings. So you might have 3 protein servings earlier in the day, save most of your carbs and fats for nighttime. That's absolutely fine. So again, lastly, you cannot manage what is not measured. So these things are very important. What is the point in putting in all that time if you are not going to build muscle, you're not going to progress? So this list of things, I hope it helps. Let me know if it does. Let me know what you are currently not doing that you can add from that list. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Second one, done. Comment bulk or cut, depending upon which one you're doing. Don't forget, like, subscribe, click that bell thingy, and the comment shows the most algorithm love. See you in the next one.